Hi everybody, and welcome back to Stoic Quotes. Today we've got another one by the big homie Seneca, and it goes a little something like this. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. Whew! What a quote. And the reason why I like this is because I'm immediately brought back to my sales training, where one of my boss, shout out to you, Jake, thank you for this as well. I explained this in a previous video, it's probably one of the best pieces of training I've ever received, and it is so true, is the fact that the time can change, the location can change, but behaviors do not change. And I think that's essentially what the underlying message of Seneca is in this one, is that, you know, if you keep behaving in the same way despite being in a different place or being at a different time, you're essentially still the same person because your behaviors are the same. And this sort of can bleed into the fact that, okay, like, do behaviors make the person or not? And in my opinion, to a large part, they kind of do. How you act and your habits, your behaviors, the things that you do, the books that you read, all of that is a part of who you are. So essentially what he's saying is that if you notice that things are happening and things are harassing you and you want to get rid of it, you can't just run away. You can't run away from it. You can't go to another spot and expect everything to just magically disappear. No, because if you act the same way, if you are the same person, that's going to follow you because you haven't resolved it. So what Seneca means, I think, that by being a different person means that, okay, you should change your behaviors, you should perhaps realign your virtues and your values, and see if that works for you. And ultimately, I think it does. Now, I'm not going to get into a whole debate as to whether or not, okay, does anybody actually truly change? Because that's still up for debate, and that could take up a whole nother video in and of itself. But for the purposes of this quote, let's argue with the presumption that yes, people can change. People can be reformed. Now, whose responsibility is it to reform that person? Is it society? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Is it somebody else? I don't think so. I think it's your responsibility in order to do that if you want to affect a change in your life. Now, this also brings to mind a quote. I know I really shouldn't have, but I played Far Cry 3 recently, and if any of you have played that video game, you know that it's actually really, the story is very, very smart. And one of the villains of course, has this monologue. It's fantastically delivered by Michael Mando, the actor, and where essentially he says, "Have I told you the definition of insanity? It's when you do the same shit over and over and over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy." And I think that's another little nugget that you can get from this quote as well, because if you just keep ending up in a different place, but you're the same person, you're essentially doing the same shit over and over and over again, expecting that, oh, okay, well, I changed location. Why isn't anything working? Because obviously it's not going to work because it doesn't matter. What really matters is that you have to change how you act. You have to change how you behave. You have to change your habits. You have to affect that sort of a change in your life, not some, I don't want to call it temporal because that's probably the wrong word for it, but the sort of your location within space-time doesn't affect how you affect your environment. That change has to come from within. But at the risk of me rambling, I'm going to wrap it up there. Have I completely missed the mark? If so, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Don't forget to drop a like on the video as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching.